Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Amari Kalia. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I've been able to maintain my weight. Despite the fact that I've been traveling, I've been eating out, I have been just not as consistent with my eating habits and my routines because February was a crazy month. Now, I recorded this video like 3 or 4 days ago, and then when I went to edit the video, my sound was all off, so I'm having to re-record it, which is why it's coming out so late. Today is literally March the 11th, but that's okay. I still want to get this out because what I'm about to tell you is so important. What I want you to get from this video is that healthy habits matter more than anything. It's not about being strict. It's not about restricting yourself from your favorite things. It's not about following an exact plan. It's about being able to pivot and being able to still practice some of those foundational habits and routines so that you will still, not gain excess weight or just be able to maintain where you are at the current moment. So for me, I was on a cut. I started a cut at the end of January 27th to be exact, and then February I got married. So I was going back and forth to my hometown multiple times. One time I went 3 times in 1 week. So I was just, on the road a lot, and I just wasn't able to stay on track when it comes to not eating out. So, what I did notice, because I did restart my cut last week, and I weighed myself, and I was like, wait, like I haven't gained any weight. So I started to think about what I did and how intentional I was about certain things, and it made me realize even though I wasn't 100% on track, I was still practicing some fundamental things that kept me from gaining excess weight. So, one thing I want to talk about is the fact that I walked a lot, and I made sure that I got my steps in. So weekends were pretty much the only the only time I was traveling. I did travel, I think, twice in the middle of the week. But when it came to when I was actually gone, it was usually on the weekend. So that's when I was having to figure out, what I was going to eat. So my workouts were fine. I was still working out 5 days a week. I was finishing my 12-week program, which was strength training 5 days. So I was still doing that. So I believe that probably helped me out a lot because I was still burning a lot of calories between strength training and getting my steps in and, doing cardio when I was able to. So I would say the number one reason why I was able to keep the weight off was because I was still exercising. When I did go out of town, like I said, it was usually during the weekends, so I wasn't working out during the weekends. I made sure that I did all of my exercises during the week, so that wasn't something that I had to worry about over the weekend. But I'm one of those type of people, I don't like to just sit all day. I do like to move around, so even if that's just going to a grocery store or getting up and walking around the house, especially when I'm back home, I'm usually playing with my nephew. So, I try to stay on my feet, but overall, I made sure that I was active throughout this time, still doing my workout, still hitting my step goal, which at the time was 10,000 steps. Now it's 12,000 steps. Just to make sure that, like I said, my blood is flowing. I'm still keeping my muscle. Like I said, I was on a cut, so I wasn't able to really cut down like I wanted to, but that's okay. I restarted. But strength training and, exercising regularly just helped me definitely to keep the weight off. Number 2 is I continue to keep junk food out of the house. When I went back home to my parents' house, luckily they didn't have a lot of junk food, and the things that they had I didn't really want. But I made sure even when I was able to go grocery shopping, I didn't buy any junk food. That's kind of one of my top things anyway. I did have ice cream a few times, but that's because we actually went out to get ice cream. It's not something that I welcome into my house, and that's always going to be number one. That's always going to be one of my number one tips to, keep from snacking and keep from eating junk food is to not buy it for your house. Out of sight, out of mind. A lot of times when we snack, it's usually because we're bored. We're just sitting around, so we're going to go to the kitchen. And so if you don't have it in your kitchen, then you can't eat it. So keeping junk food out of my house was great for me. Like I said, whenever we did want something sweet, we went out and bought it, which we did a couple of times. But Other than that, I was not eating junk food. So another thing is I only drink water and coffee. So when I drink coffee, I make my coffee at home. I usually do not buy coffee unless I am out of town. So we did go to Dunkin' Donuts maybe once or twice, but when I buy coffee out, especially now since it's the winter time, I buy a hot coffee. I get oat milk and like French vanilla added, but I don't do any of those frappes, anything with like a whole bunch of sugar. I don't do all of that. I just get a hot coffee and I add in. I may do like a hot vanilla latte, but to me that's still not as bad as getting some of those other drinks that are full of sugar. But otherwise, I make my own coffee at home. I have a Keurig, so I usually just, have that with my vanilla creamer. And so other than that, I don't drink any sodas, any juice, when I go out to eat, I get water every time. Like every single time. It's just second nature to me. It's something that I don't have to think about. That's just one of the best ways to cut down on sugar and cut down on your calories. People don't know that like literally in a bottle of Sprite, there's like 30 to 40 grams, if not more than that, worth of sugar in there. So literally just cutting out those processed drinks can save you so much sugar and save you so many calories. So that always saves me, especially when I'm traveling. I still don't indulge when I go on cruises, the most you may see me get is a mocktail. I probably had 2 mocktails throughout my whole life. Like I don't care to have alcohol, so I haven't had alcohol in 3 years, but mocktails to me is just sugary juice. So for me, like I just don't even care to drink it. So yeah, not having any type of beverage outside of water and coffee saves me, especially when I'm traveling. So one of the top things that also really helped me is I stopped eating when I got full. So when I say I was eating out, I was eating like fast food. Like I'm pretty sure I had McDonald's once. And I'm gonna be real, y'all. McDonald's double cheeseburger, them things are like fire. Like, I'm not encouraging y'all to eat it. Please don't eat it. But I had it once with no onion, and it was actually really good because it was fresh. But I had that once. I want to say I had a Sonic burger. I had a Sonic burger twice. And these are not days back to back. These are just within a whole month, the whole month of February. These are some of the things that I was eating. So, like I said, I know I had Sonic, I had McDonald's, I had Tropical Smoothie Cafe, which that wasn't too bad because I was getting like wraps that was like with grilled chicken, so that wasn't bad. And I was also drinking their smoothies. But yeah, I was eating a lot of like fried foods because I was eating French fries or tater tots. But I will say, like, what I didn't do was overeat. Like, within the day, I was literally only eating like 2 meals a day. So for breakfast, most of the time, I was still making my breakfast at home. Like, if I went to Chattanooga, like on a Saturday, I would make my breakfast at home and then I would eat out once I got there. But basically, I just didn't overindulge. I didn't overeat. Whenever I got hungry or whenever I got full, I stopped eating. Like, especially if I'm eating like fast food. Like, once I felt like, okay, satisfied, I'm not hungry no more, I just stopped eating. I didn't try to just like overeat just because I'm like, oh, I'm out of town. Like, I can eat what I want. No, like, I need to be intentional and make sure that I'm not overindulging because those calories rack up so fast. Like, people don't even know, like, a good McDonald's meal is like 1,000 to 1,500 calories, just depending on what you eat, especially if you add on a soda. So I was being very intentional with like, okay, if I'm gonna eat, we went to Dairy Queen once. So like Dairy Queen burger, I paid attention to like, am I gonna get the burger that's 400 calories or 500 calories? Like, I was definitely paying attention to my calories and making sure that, like, I got so intentional to the point where I was like, okay, which one more calories, the tater tots or the French fries? And I picked whichever one at that restaurant was, lower in calories. So the main, moral of this point is I was very intentional with not overeating and not eating out like multiple times in a day. So like usually I would stop eating around like 5 or 6 just because I'm like, dang, if I just had that and my only option is to eat out, I'm just not going to eat. Just make sure that I'm drinking a lot of water. So that was probably one of the top things that helped me out. And to go along with that, I was unintentionally fasting. Now, I'm not a huge advocate for fasting, especially for me because I eat breakfast pretty early. But because I was eating like the type of foods that I was eating, once I ate it, I was like, okay, I'm done for the day. Like I didn't feel right just like continuing to eat, out or eating fast food, knowing that it wasn't like the best for me. So like I was done eating most days or during this time on the days where I had to do that, I would stop eating like whenever. Sometimes it was even 4 o'clock. Like once I'm done eating or once I eat that, I'm done eating for the day. So I was like fasting for like 14 to 16 hours. And to me, that's a benefit because you're allowing your body to digest everything. You're allowing your body to kind of just rejuvenate. You're just not taking in so much food. You're allowing your body to rest. I do think that fasting has, fasting does have benefits if you look at the research. It just doesn't work well with my type of schedule, which is why I don't do it. But yeah, like I was unintentionally fasting, and I would say I would wake up with a flatter stomach. Like I woke up, I was not as bloated throughout this time. So, just those little small things that you think don't matter, they really do matter. And then the most important thing for me was that I continued to eat fruits and vegetables, and I was also drinking smoothies. So I started by drinking smoothies. We went to Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I remember the day of our celebration, we went to Tropical Smoothie Cafe for breakfast, and before my makeup appointment, I got a smoothie. So I made sure that I had Greek yogurt in it, I had some greens in it, and I had some fruit. I made sure every day I still had a serving of vegetables and fruit. So like if my dinner was something that I ate out or something that I bought out, so it was fast food, best believe that morning I had some type of vegetable to some capacity. So whether that's putting spinach in my eggs or in my smoothies, my green juice, I was very consistent with drinking my green juice throughout all of this time. I make sure now whenever I see that I got one or two left, I just go ahead and buy more just to make sure that I don't go a day without it. But I love drinking my green juice in the morning. It's pretty much one of my new like rituals. It's a part of my daily morning routine. So I love the green juice, and that's just a perfect way to make sure that I'm getting in some type of fruits and vegetables for the day. It's a great kickstart to my day. But I made sure that I was getting in those micronutrients because that is very important just for your overall health. So these are just some habits that you can practice just even in your daily life. Like if you have to eat out, just make sure that, you may eat smaller portions. You may eat half of it then and eat half of it later. You're eating vegetables with at least 1 or 2 meals a day. You're still drinking your water. You cut out certain things. So like for me, I have 2 big trips going on this year, and both of them are cruises. And for me, like I'm still going to make sure that I stay on track. And one of the best ways to stay on track is for me, like I know they say don't cut out certain things, but for me, I like to cut out certain things because it limits my options and it makes sure that I'm at least like being intentional with what I do decide to eat. So like right now on my cut, I'm not eating fried foods, I'm not eating white bread, and I'm not eating something else I'm missing. Fried foods, white bread, and junk food. And I have a list of like what I will eat. So like for instance, right now, if I do have to eat out, it's going to be Chipotle, Kava, or if I do have to get like a wrap or a sub, I'm going to use white or wheat bread, and I'm going to make sure that I'm eating like baked or rotisserie chicken. So usually the reason why I cut out fried foods is because I love French fries. I love chicken tenders. So that just cuts out me even having that as an option. So, it's all about how you want to go about things. But the main thing is that you just want to be intentional and you just want to have boundaries for yourself, because it is so easy to just like let go and let loose and do whatever you feel like doing. Some people are proponents of that when you travel. But for me, I don't really like to do that because I just don't like feeling bad. Like when I eat unhealthy, I feel terrible. Like on the inside, I'm bloated, I'm gassy. My mood is all over the place. I'm not as focused. And that's because what you eat has a direct correlation with your gut health and your brain health. So you want to make sure that more and often than not, you're eating foods that really support your overall health. So I hope you guys got some tips from this video. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you do when you travel. Do you have healthy habits? Do you just kind of do whatever you feel like doing? No judgment here. I would just love to know how you guys, stay on track with your health and make sure that you're not gaining any excess weight. Now, like I said, I am on my cut, so just be on the lookout for that. I will be giving you guys updates every week with, how many pounds I've lost, what I've been eating, my workouts, and things like that. So don't forget to like and comment on this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.